Not every couple is destined to live happily ever after. Sometimes, the I do turns into an I didn't mean to in the blink of an eye. And we've seen our fair share of celebrity relationships where things went downhill fast. From wild breakups to shady exes crashing weddings, here's a rundown of some celebrity marriages that truly take the cake for being disastrous. Number 8. Britney Spears and Jason Alexander. Let's start with the queen of pop herself, Britney Spears, and her infamous 55-hour marriage to Jason Alexander. Talk about a whirlwind romance. I mean, you'd think a marriage lasting less than 3 days would be nothing more than a story for the tabloids, but no, this one comes with a lifetime of drama. While Britney was partying it up in Vegas, she and Jason, who was a childhood friend, decided to tie the knot in the spur of the moment. Little did they know, this impromptu decision would spark years of chaos. After the marriage was annulled, the two had a public falling out, but Jason didn't take the hint. In 2022, he made an uninvited appearance at Britney's wedding to her fiancé Sam Asghari. And wait for it, he showed up with a weapon. Yes, you read that right. The ex-husband wasn't just there to rekindle old flames. He needed to be escorted off the property by the police. The worst part? He live-streamed the entire stunt. Talk about making things worse. Jason's wild antics didn't stop there. He once broke into Britney's home and was arrested for trespassing and battery. Unsurprisingly, he was later sentenced to 64 days in jail. So, while Britney's marriage may have been short, its aftermath definitely left a lasting impression. Number 7. Jennifer Lopez and Ojani Noha. Next up, we have Jennifer Lopez and her first husband Ojani Noha. Their brief marriage from 1997 to 1998 might have been forgotten by most, but Noah certainly didn't forget about it. No, instead, he decided to write a tell-all book, The Unknown Truth. A passionate portrait of a serial thriller. Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? About their time together. Unfortunately for him, he never got to release it because Jennifer was having none of it. After suing him for breaching a confidentiality agreement, Jennifer Lopez was awarded a cool $545,000 in damages. But even that wasn't the end of it. Noah didn't learn his lesson and later threatened to release intimate home videos from their honeymoon. Well, as you might imagine, Jennifer wasn't thrilled about that either and sued him again, this time for nearly $10 million. It's safe to say Ojani Noha learned the hard way that it's not a great idea to mess with Jennifer Lopez, especially when it comes to her reputation. Number 6. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have had their fair share of headlines over the years, but nothing quite compares to the Oscar slap heard around the world. We all remember the shocking moment when Will took to the stage at the 2022 Oscars to slap Chris Rock after a joke about Jada's hair. Talk about a jaw-dropping moment that left everyone speechless. But it wasn't just the slap that got everyone talking, turns out. Will and Jada's marriage wasn't exactly a fairy tale. In her memoir Worthy, Jada revealed that she had never actually wanted to get married in the first place. Let that sink in for a second. So, you can imagine the tension when the couple announced they'd been living separately for years, though they weren't divorced. It was as if the rest of the world had no idea what was really going on behind closed doors. While the slap overshadowed everything else, the real story was the tension bubbling beneath the surface of their relationship for years. Number 5. Adam Levine and the naming scandal. Now let's talk about Adam Levine, the lead singer of Maroon 5, who found himself embroiled in a scandal involving an alleged affair and a mistress who nearly had a baby named after her. Yep, you heard that right. In 2021, it was revealed that Adam Levine had been exchanging flirtatious messages with an Instagram influencer, with some of them getting downright questionable. But it didn't end there. The real kicker? Levine allegedly suggested he wanted to name his baby after his mistress, something his wife, Behati Prinsloo, definitely didn't sign up for. While Adam denied having an affair, admitting to being flirty online, the entire situation created a media frenzy. He called it the greatest mistake I could ever make, and has since taken a step back from the spotlight. As for his marriage, it looks like they're still together, though no one's rushing to throw him a Father of the Year award anytime soon. Number 4. Fred Armisen and Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss, the talented actress known for her roles in Mad Men and The Handmaid's Tale, had a rather difficult time in her first marriage to comedian Fred Armisen. Now, Armisen might be funny on screen, but when it came to his real-life marriage, Moss described it as traumatic, awful, and horrible. In an interview, Moss said that she had a hard time connecting with Fred, who was often in his own world. She even commented that his best impersonation was pretending to be a normal person. Ouch! Armisen admitted to being starstruck by Moss, and looking back, he described himself as a terrible husband. He later sought therapy to deal with his issues, but it was clear that the damage had been done. Their marriage lasted only a couple of years before ending in 2010. Number 3. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis have been known as one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, but in 2023, they found themselves in hot water when they wrote letters in support of their That 70s Show co-star, Danny Masterson, who was facing criminal charges. These letters asked the judge for leniency, even calling Masterson a role model. As you can imagine, the internet didn't exactly take kindly to this, especially given the nature of Masterson's conviction. Kutcher and Kunis quickly filmed an apology video explaining that the letters were written with the best intentions, but the damage was already done. Despite their heartfelt apology, many fans remained upset, and the controversy lingered for quite some time. Number 2. Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, known for his roles in Transformers and The Departed, has had a complicated history of his own. While he married model Rhea Durham in 2009, Wahlberg has a dark past that includes some disturbing actions in his younger years. In 1986, he and his friends were involved in a racial incident in which they were accused of harassing a group of black schoolchildren with slurs and objects. 2 years later, he assaulted 2 Vietnamese men, an act that led to his short stint in prison. While Wahlberg has since sought forgiveness for his past actions, many still remember his controversial history. His efforts to change and seek redemption have been documented over the years, but his past continues to follow him. Number 1. Pamela Anderson's pandemic romance. Finally, we have Pamela Anderson, whose pandemic romance with contractor Dan Hayhurst started off like something out of a movie. The two spent the pandemic together, isolated from the world and deep in their own bubble of love. They even married on Christmas Eve of 2020 in a small, intimate ceremony. But as it often goes, the honeymoon phase didn't last long. By 2022, the couple had split. Pamela later explained that she had romanticized the entire situation, and as she reflected on the marriage, she realized she was doing all the work, cooking, cleaning, and paying for everything. Not exactly the fairy tale ending she had imagined. In fact, she referred to the whole marriage as stupid and a disaster. And that's a wrap on today's wild celebrity marriage stories. If you found this as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more juicy content. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, because who wouldn't want to hear about these epic relationship fails? Stay tuned for more celebrity gossip, and remember, sometimes a little drama makes for the best stories. Catch you in the next one.